Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin' John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Monday, October 7th, 2019. Fightful.com is reporting the finish of the Bray Wyatt vs. Seth Rollins match at Hell in a Cell last night was reportedly a Vince McMahon call, and his sight and vision played out how he wanted it, according to people backstage. There was apparently one person that even said that Vince McMahon was laughing at how fans reacted to the ending. The general backstage reaction to the finish was said to be largely negative from talent and employees of WWE. As of this reporting, a video from the match, not the finish, has 2.3 thousand likes versus 9.6 thousand dislikes. And of course, as you know, the fan reaction to that match last night was largely negative from fans. WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley and former WWE star The Blue Meanie commented on the finish last night. It all started when O'Shea Jackson Jr., which is Ice Cube's son, said, "Hell in a Cell ends in a DQ back-to-back years. Hell in a Cell can end in a DQ. Tell that to Mick Foley." Mick Foley replied back to Ice Cube's son by saying, "So maybe a Hell in a Cell shouldn't end in a DQ, but I do love the new layers the match added to the Fiend character." And the Blue Meanie tweeted, "Looks like the wrestling world has sworn off watching the WWE ever again until they watch the WWE again tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw Live on the USA Network, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central." Also, I want to throw this out here. Adult website Brazzers, yes, commented on the finish of the Bray Wyatt Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell match by tweeting, "Hey WWE, let us know if you need advice on how to craft logical and coherent storylines with satisfying finishes." I love that. That deserves to be on here. John Pollock of PostWrestling.com noted the following about Bray Wyatt and Sasha Banks coming off the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view last night. John Pollock said, "We were informed at Post Wrestling that Bray Wyatt and Sasha Banks are not medically cleared for tonight's Raw following their matches on Sunday. No timelines were provided for us, so there is no indication that either injury is serious." John Pollock also confirmed a previous report that the finish of Bray Wyatt vs. Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell was a Vince McMahon idea. There was apparently another non-finish idea that was discussed, but didn't end up being used. During AEW's New York Comic-Con panel over the weekend, Jon Moxley commented on WWE's reaction to All Elite Wrestling so far. Jon Moxley said, "I think everybody is going to start doing better than they're doing right now. You're seeing wrestlers who are getting more money from WWE just because they're trying to lock everybody down, which is great. It should have been like that all along, you know? I think they're going to start reducing their schedule too, which is good because their schedule is stupid. Makes no sense. So I think you're going to see a better quality of life for guys, you know, in the competition, so to speak, just because of the existence of AEW. I mean, there's guys in Japan that I know that are getting raises, that are under contract, that aren't even coming, that don't even want to come here, just as like a sign of good faith. Literally, the entire industry all over the world is benefiting from the fact that now there's like a viable alternative, and once we like hit 10 o'clock, and we got 2 hours in the can the other night, we're like, we did it, high five. And now we get the ratings out there as a viable alternative. I mean, this is real. This actually happened. I'm sure there are a lot of people that are going to keep waiting to wake up from the nightmare like this isn't really real. But like all this is happening, this is 100% real. And it's great for everybody. It's great. I don't say this to try to do some corporate speak like that passive-aggressive WWE statement the other day. Ultimately, the fans benefit, you know? Because they get to see these guys all across the board who are more inspired, or from the indies getting hyped up too, like all across the board. Everybody's more passionate, more excited. The other night, I was watching Monday Night Raw with my wife the other night. It was like, oh, like this is fun because we're like watching them react like, oh, now they brought Pyro back. Now they brought in Hogan and Flair, and just watching them try to like make moves, like it's fun, it's exciting. Like that fan part of me is like, this is so much fun. Thanks to eWrestlingNews.com for the quote. The Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois' website is advertising the following match for Survivor Series: Best of Raw versus the Best of SmackDown. Braun Strowman, Rey Mysterio, The Miz, Ricochet, and Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, and Aleister Black in a 5-on-5 match. As always, the card subject to change line could come into play. And finally, here on Jammin' Jon's Wrestling News, the WWE Network News Twitter account noted the following regarding 205 Live status after being last Friday's taping was canceled at the last minute. WWE Network News tweeted on Twitter, despite hearing that 205 was still set to continue earlier this week, 205 Live is currently not on the schedule for Friday, seemingly confirming its cancellation. That is your news for Monday, October 7th, 2019. If you are a Patreon subscriber, my recap of Hell in a Cell is now up at patreon.com/jamminjon if you'd like to listen to it, and I'll also have my recap to Monday Night Raw here later on tonight after it goes off. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin' Jon's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, and Player FM. Follow me on Twitter at Jon Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin' Jon. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin' Jon's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion wanting to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/jamminjon. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would greatly appreciate it if you decided to support me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/JAMMINJON. This is Jammin' Jon saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.